Okay, so I should be in bed right now, but I've just devised a plan to make this my best vlog ever. Move slow. So the footage right now looks super pale, and the reason why is because I'm filming in something called flat. So you can see I'm just gonna snap to a bunch of different themes. There's probably over 50 that I have, but yeah, you guys can get a kind of sense for what these look like. And yeah, now I need to decide a set vibe that I'm going to have for these videos. Okay guys, so something that I have been kind of going back and forth on over the last little while here has been the exact direction that I want to go in terms of the structuring for the business side of what I do, because obviously I get paid by YouTube, but that's not my background at all. I come from a world of signing on clients through YouTube, and that's actually how I made my first $1 million in revenue, of course, and I had a business partner, etc., from the platform. So I say that because right now I've been in this very weird situation where over the last year I've not really onboarded many people. I take on 3, 4, I think the highest I had at a single point was around 7 clients at a time, and just helping them with YouTube. And I'm in this weird situation where I have taken all the money I've made in business for the last 3 years and invested it into either what's called like a CD, which is pretty much putting your money away for a set period of time. So mine are typically either 5 and 10 year CDs. And because you're doing that, you're giving the money to the bank for a certain set amount of years, and because of that, they can guarantee you an interest return. Now, it's not the highest form of return from an investment. It's similar to bonds in a sense. It's just based on a different thing. It operates similar to bonds, but what you're doing is you're giving the bank the money today, which then they can loan out to other people and receive interest on, and that's why it makes sense for them. They're scamming. But it also helps me because I get a return based off of that as well. And when I first made a lot of money, both from business and then also from other stuff like crypto, at a young age, I learned the taxes thing the hard way. Luckily, I had good people in my corner. My mom was very adamant on me, like, hey, make sure you always set aside money away from taxes. And I've spent money dumb, but I've got hit by that lesson before, is my point. So right now, I'm in a situation where I've taken all that money and it's either in CDs, or the money that I've actually taken out liquid, I put into a hard asset, like voila, the house in Florida. So I mention that because I don't necessarily have this like big growing desire to make a lot of money, because I'm playing the game of content and personal branding for money in a long-term way, right? Like I even sit and question sometimes, like, is info worth getting really big into? Because I know at the end of the day my play is going to be private equity and properly building companies and leveraging my brand for connections and whatnot, and also to just get like better deals because I can market something. And I sit there and think, well, then the extent of info and all the businesses that I'm running right now have 2 key purposes. It's either to pay for necessities, right? And I consider that like my very modest living right now. I think my overall monthly expenses are like 2,000 US. That's actually including business expenses too, right? Because I really downsized what I do, like 2,500 US. And beyond that, the only other case that I need money for is just investing into companies and things that I think work. Also, a part of that investing budget is also into gear, right? Buying better cameras, paying for high-level team members and specialists. So I'm in this weird situation where I have to decide to myself whether it's a good idea to start aggressively making money again, and if that money is going to be better than the peace and the time that I have right now to focus on my work. So it's a very interesting thing, and I'm just trying to find the happy medium, because I don't want to go all out on money. If I went all out on money, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be doing this series. I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing right now, because there's much easier ways to make $100,000 a month, or whatever revenue number you want to throw at, like, for all intents and purposes. There's easier ways to do it, and I'm playing a much larger game just based on what I want to do. So I'm trying to figure out a happy medium, and it's kind of driving me crazy. So yeah, I think what I'll do, and kind of thinking out loud here, but I'm probably going to go ahead and, so I have 2 channels, and I'm not going to run ads, do outreach, anything like that. I think I do a counter. How much denied revenue I have in a month. I think this month I've denied $12,500 in revenue when it comes to like people who previously knew my price and like reached back out based on, I guess, like some of the stuff they'd seen me doing with YouTube. So I have denied revenue that I kind of keep track of, just as like a mental note for myself. What I think I want to do is I want to open some slots for consultation and more like a done with you YouTube thing. So not having me actually manually post and edit the videos. That's the part that really drains. It's like the 80% of YouTube that gets 20% of the results. But work with people from a packaging perspective. So help them with their ideas, the scripts they actually say in the videos, and then also the titles and thumbnails. I can do that. That's the 20% that leads to 80% of results. Have that be a complete done for you thing that I do, and then they just take care of the editing and the posting for the videos. That's something that I think I'm probably going to open some new slots for, just because it is going to help when it comes to just aggressively reinvesting into things, right? Because like I said, invested all my money, and I don't want to break CDs because you lose money on doing that in order to buy gear and buy equipment. So I'd also like to cash flow it so I don't feel like I'm losing money every single month. So yeah, maybe that's something I do. Another thing that I've been thinking about is also just pay it with YouTube revenue, and if I can't make it in YouTube revenue, I'm coping. But that might not be the best lens to look at it through. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to just put my links back on my main channel saying like, hey, if you want to work with me, you can watch this video and schedule a call. And yeah, I have to be very rationed with it. I'm probably only going to take on 1 to 2 people, and I'll just have my prices raised for that. And if I can get that done, that will be a good little recurring revenue asset, because that's essentially what I do. Again, I just run the content side of things for cash flow. So hopefully that makes sense. And I order this walkway between being completely transparent with you guys about like the financials aspects of that, but I also know that's really dumb. So, because anybody can watch this. So there's a large percentage of you who probably find it informative, transparent, and inspiring, and then there's a very small percentage of people that can leverage that against you, and the very small percent of people that will leverage stuff like that against you are the ones that will cause you all the headaches. So I try and walk the borderline between doing it, and I like right now I can be very vulnerable about it because I have very little liability and everything runs through me. But when you have team members and you have a lot larger of an ecosystem, you also have to respect people's privacy. It's kind of like a fiduciary duty. So enjoy the transparency, because I imagine someday just on matters of business I won't be able to share as much, but that's kind of the plan when it comes to revenue streams and whatnot. But knock myself back on the head. You got to stay down. The longer you can pull back the slingshot. So I'm actually just gonna keep doubling down on YouTube, and then maybe like 1 to 2 people, like I said. But I always have to fight with this temptation because I have run a business and I know how to make more money, choosing to intentionally not, because I know the long-term yield of that. So little rant, but hopefully it's valuable. Almost held back, and because of that held back my overall growth. And I just want to be transparent in sharing with you guys that it's not a virtue signal that I'm still able to do X thing and still achieve desired result. It's actually something that I need to get better at. So I'll give you guys a great example. I used to play video games while I took sales calls, and I was a 15-year-old making really good money, over $10,000 a month, fluctuating throughout this period. And at that time, I would say to myself, oh, I'm so good I can play video games and still make $10,000 a month. Well, the older me and the bit wiser me, and I'll look back on this and say the same thing, but you see that oversight and you go, dude, well, if you didn't play video games on those sales calls, how much would that open you to make? And this is so nuanced because there's also an element of what I like to call invisible Jenga tower. Sometimes we have certain character flaws or things that appear to be flaws on the surface, but are actually some of the core foundations at which our character and our personality is built on. So I'll give you a great example. A lot of very successful people have a very deep-seated anger, embarrassment, or something of that nature put into them. And while if you look at that source and you objectively see it, the world might tell you, hey, it's a bad thing, you don't want that. It is what drove them to do every positive thing from that point beyond and build themselves into this positive force that they have now become. And I think the best way to illustrate this is you see so many people who go ahead and they see massive success, and the term getting soft is really when somebody kind of heals those foundational alleviations, and because of that, it knocks down everything that was built on top of that foundation. So like I was trying to say before my camera died, to me, that's what getting soft really is. And I've noticed that sometimes I've healed foundational kind of vices of myself that as a result lead to a trickle down of otherwise becoming more negative. Now, and it doesn't have to be a vice, it could be a personality quirk, whatever it might be. And that's why I walk such a fine line and a teeter-tot between wanting to make everything optimized and it actually just being authentic to who I am and the unique life experience that I have had. So it's interesting. And again, the conclusion and my action as a result of this are I'll be taking this thing in my personal life very seriously now that I'm financially committed into getting it solved, and I will also be going ahead and focusing on fitness as the other thing, because I love running. I do not like working out. And the reason why I don't like working out is because to me it can just get so boring. But I also realize that I really need to be working out because in running, because I've gotten better at it, you don't experience as much physical pain. It's kind of a relaxing thing to do. And getting back to physical exercise where you feel your muscles get broken down and come back stronger every single day has been something that I'm missing. And I'm noticing that just in like the general mental discipline. You can tell you're a little bit sharper when you're doing weight training, or at least body weight training is probably what I'm gonna do. So just a thing that maybe I'll implement to this series. I guess in light of that, let's do a little home workout. Alright guys, 51 push-ups, 52 squats. I don't care what anybody says. It goes weightlifting is the easiest, then running, and then body weight exercises. By far the hardest thing ever. Holy crap. Just by doing this, I know like this is definitely what I was missing. With running, you don't get the same like outing and feel strength, which this gives you, but without, I don't know, just like having to go to the gym and all that. So this is gonna be a staple going forward, and glad I am really getting the breakthroughs that I need to level up. All good. Well. So, I am now in the evening after a little siesta, which is Spanish for nap if you didn't know. And what I'm doing is getting all the preparations done to hand off my video to my editor. And it's such a, again, dichotomy and nuance between wanting to control over everything yourself to become a master and staying humble to actually learn the skills to improve, and not being an idiot with your time. And I think I am now falling into the section where I'm being an idiot with my time when it comes to editing this video, and because of that I need to start getting it to my editor. So that is what I'm going to be getting ready for tonight, and then with that being done, probably the initial part I'll finish tonight, and then it will be fully cleaned up by tomorrow. I will have now fully handed off and can just forget about this Rob the Bank video and start getting excited about the reviews and the revisions and the final product, while using that excitement to fuel the building of my next video, which I am really happy, and I think it's going to be probably by far my best piece to date, because it's going to combine everything I learned when it comes to the quality of this video, but also a far more controversial and a far more popular figure. So that is that's the plan, and it looks like the sleep schedule is going to be toast because I'm doing this by any means. It's BAM time, baby. Holy, good thing I'm done that recording. I hate doing those. All right, it's time to get to work.